Oh, yeah.
From Rory McIlroy to Tiger Woods, there are many golfers strictly against the LIV Tour, but this time it was Jack Nicklaus who spoke up against it. He said that the tour was buying the game. It's been some time since the LIV Tour first came into existence, and I know it seems like things have calmed down since then, but I feel like it's mostly because everyone had had their say. They've already given their opinion time and time again.
That what they've done is they've turned their back on what has allowed them to get to this position.
And now there isn't much left to do, but it looks like Jack is a bit behind everyone else, because just recently he resurfaced to criticize the Saudi-backed tour. Jack is an incredible golfer who managed to win 18 majors, and you know what makes him even more legendary? He's probably the only golfer who has won more majors than Tiger Woods. So I guess whatever this guy has to say is pretty valid. The former golfer wasn't happy about the large amount of money LIV was paying its golfers, not because he didn't think they didn't deserve it, but because it was so obvious they were just trying to buy the game.
Oh, what a putt.
All right. That's a grade 4.
It's been over a year since LIV's emergence, and let me tell you, this isn't the first time people have complained about the high salaries of golfers. But unlike the rest of them, Jack doesn't fault the golfers that deflected. Well, to say that they deflected is a bit of an exaggeration. That's just the thought of the loyalists golfers who are obsessed with the PGA. According to them, joining the LIV was a huge insult to golf itself.
Betrayal is a very strong word. I think it's disappointing. I think that the players that have decided to...
And they started calling these people rebels. Soon enough, there was talk about how they couldn't stand these people or stomach the thought of playing next to them. And all this drama caused a rift in golf, which will apparently take years to recover from and will bring with it a new age of golf. And this is what led to the Gulf War. While the worst of it has calmed down, things are far from going back to normal, and people from both sides are still going up against each other.
Just looking at LIV Golf and where we are today, to where we were 6-7 months ago, and people are saying this is dead in the water and we're past that, and here we are today, a force in the game that's not going away. That
The LIV are against the extreme loyalty some golfers have towards PGA, and how they're intent on the fact that just because it came first, it's the face and future of the golf. In turn, the people from the PGA Tour are always on about how they're supporting the violation of human rights. In my opinion, both sides are just trying to do their job, play golf, earn money, and live a successful and satisfactory life. The people who went to the LIV just took the easy way out. And for some reason, the PGA loyalists are extremely salty at that, because let me tell you, they aren't happy about the LIV golfers' excessive paydays. I mean, they're being paid a bit too much. They probably get paid more in 1 year than PGA golfers do in a decade or more.
He only needs one. Brooks Koepka, 4-time major winner.
But really, to say that these people and their careers don't matter just because they chose a luxurious life for themselves is a bit too much. And not only for themselves, these people have families too, wives and children. Of course, going for large amounts of money without a second thought isn't a good thing, but we can't say all of these people are greedy. Jack is of the same opinion. He doesn't fault the ones who chose to play for the LIV. The 83-year-old said that they were given a choice. It was between playing golf for some time, earn a lot of money, collect it, keep it for their family, or staying in PGA, staying loyal to regular golf, then go straight to the senior tour, and then finally retirement. Not as easy or luxurious as the LIV golfers, but definitely satisfactory. They took the first option. It's easier for them, and they made their call. But Jack did admit that while this was perfect for the players, in the long term it wouldn't end well for the game. He said that he wasn't a big fan of the way the PGA Tour was forced to react.
It's not an issue for me, because I don't work for the Saudi Arabian government, but it probably is an issue for players that chose to go and take that money. And I think you have to ask yourself the question, Jim, why?
The LIV Tour is kind of like a secondary tour within the main one, a second layer. But in the end, Jack stated that he was more than willing to go with the flow.
There's a loyalty that's built up with a lot of our guys here. And they didn't have that, and I can see that. They have an opportunity to do something for their families that they're probably not going to be able to do on the regular tour.
Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but he did say that times change, and he'll have to deal with it. In the end, all of this depends on how the legal cases are handled. A lot of LIV golfers have brought the fact that they aren't earning world ranking points to court, and the end result of these court cases will be the future of LIV. Right now, though, as far as people are concerned, they're still trying to get a seat at the table. Obviously, it's not sitting well with people, and why wouldn't it? The PGA Tour has been around for years. Nobody likes outsiders shaking up their camp. Nicklaus thinks LIV is getting ahead of themselves. He thinks they're using money to buy the game and just want to buy respect and loyalty. It's not how things work. You can't buy what you have to earn. And Nicklaus agrees. He mentioned he didn't think that's what it's all about. And someone gave a pretty good analogy, and it'll hurt. Basically, people think the LIV camp just wants to sit on a veranda at Augusta National and sip mint juleps with the membership, and then they expect people to accept them. He thinks they're trying to gain entrance into the mainframe of golf. Nicklaus has enjoyed a pretty remarkable career with a whopping 118 titles. And get this, 73 of them came from the PGA Tour. It explains why he's so fond of them. He even holds the record for the most majors won on the tour. But one thing's for sure, he repaid the favor with impressive loyalty. The star was offered an eye-popping amount of cash, over £80 million in two separate offers. He rejected both of them. He thinks he needs to play for the game. Nicklaus insisted that money wasn't the reason he was a player. It was a bit out of the ordinary. After all, prize money has been on the rise in the golf scene. He mentioned that back when he was in his prime, he just did what I did. He said that he just won a few tournaments and didn't get much money, even if they thought it was a lot then. He went on to say that his lifetime earnings would add up to around $8 million, and 10 guys make that figure these days. He obviously didn't think that things would change to such an extreme extent one day. Nicklaus said that there was a lot to be said about today's age in golf, but he wouldn't trade what he did. He loved what he did, and we admire the love he has for his sport. He thinks times have changed, and golf isn't what it once was. Nicklaus and his fellow players played for the sport, not the money. He said that money was just something they got as a side benefit, something they won on the course. It's not that it wasn't necessary, since they needed to make a living so they could continue to play what they loved, but it wasn't the end-all be-all for them. Nicklaus doesn't like what golf has become today. In his opinion, the guys on the course today play for the money, not the game. We can see why he feels that way. When we look at a legendary veteran who gave his life to golf and compare it to people changing sides for money, it's obvious it wouldn't sit well with him. So here's what Jack Nicklaus had to say about LIV buying golf.